Hello everyone, Constitutionalist Libertarian here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Washington Free Beacon that was published on May 4th by Sam Dorman. California must provide trans prisoners with compression underwear. A U.S. district judge last week ordered California state prison officials to provide free, chest-flattening underwear, also known as compression tops, to transgender inmates at women's prisons and feminine accessories to transgender inmates at men's prisons. Well, wait a minute. I thought the whole point of prison was for punishment and rehabilitation. Okay? That between the two, it being an and/or situation, okay? Because if you're there for life, there isn't much to rehabilitate you on, okay? You're there forever, so it's supposed to be punishment. But if you're there for a few years for something, okay, the idea is to rehabilitate you so you don't come back and reoffend. Yet, okay, you're not going to be punished. We're going to bend over and cater to you, because of this judge now in California. Requiring inmates to buy compression tops effectively denies those items to individuals who cannot afford them, according to U.S. District Judge John Tagar, who issued the order on Friday. Taxpayers therefore must foot the bill. Whoa, wait a minute. Requiring them to buy the compression tops does not deny those items deny them those items. And here's why. Because yes, they do make squat, but they have the option to take jobs when they do. Okay, when they are making money, and they're not high-paying jobs. Okay, because you're in prison, it's punishment. Or in this case, it's it's a situation where it's a luxury item. It's not required for you to function and live, okay? It's a luxury item, okay? And if you really want to get technical, oh God, what was the movie there with Hilary Swank where she played a guy, okay? She used Ace Bandage, okay? Give him some Ace Bandage, all right? How cheap is that stuff? Okay, why should they be getting compression tops? Just have them Ace Bandage the shit. I mean, come on now. Why should the taxpayers have to foot the bill for this? Okay, they've got families. Their families can contribute to this. Okay, they've got those jobs. Pay for it your own damn self. It's called personal freaking responsibility. That's why they're there, because of personal responsibility. They're having to take it. So why not continue the trend to the point of where they have to supply their own trans goods? Makes sense to me. But John Tagar is an Obama-appointed judge, so I wouldn't expect anything less. The order came out of a lawsuit concerning whether transgender prisoners should have access to certain clothing and accessories that the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation argues could be altered as a disguise, aiding and escape attempts, the Associated Press reported. Well, yeah, because if you give a nightgown to a transgender male prisoner, that can easily be altered into something that looks like civilian clothes. This is why they issue particular clothing in prisons, for the fact of when they escape, if they do escape, they are easily seen, so that they can be easily rounded back up and put back in prison to serve the sentences that they were given for the crimes they committed. Common fucking sense is not in an Obama-appointed judge's, mentality, is it? I don't think anyone that Obama, that has any association with Obama, has that going on. Authorities fear inmates could alter items like nightgowns, robes, and scarves to look like street clothes and escape prison. Of course they could. Common fucking sense. Still, Tagar expanded the list of products prisoners could receive to include those items, among others. Let's just see what other items he's approved by legislating from the bench. As part of the order, men's prisons must provide bracelets, earrings, hairbrushes, and hair clips for transgender inmates. One judge worried that some of the products pose safety risks to prisoners, but Teagar objected, arguing that the items such as earrings and bracelets could be made from materials like rubber. Okay. Obviously, this guy has never had an ear pierced in his life, because you can't have rubber posts on an earring. Even though it's a small piece of metal, okay, that could be used where inmates are have ingenuity on their side and can turn almost anything into a weapon. That stud on an earring could be used as a weapon. Okay, the bracelets, okay, the rubber from them, the rubber from the earrings, okay, rubber can be melted down, and in the process, it can harden, okay, vulcanization. Oh my God, they used to teach this stuff in like middle school and high school science classes, which, this guy isn't that young. You would think that, he's my age or older. You would think that he would have a clue from those basic science classes. I remember these things from science class, okay? There was Bill Nye and Mr. Wizard, and they talked about these things, so you would think that this idiot would know this type of stuff. Oh, God. He does not get that. It's just sad. Hairbrushes, okay, they're made out of plastic. They can be melted down and made into a shiv. They do it with toothbrushes. Let's just give them an even bigger piece of plastic so that they can make an even more dangerous shiv. Hair clips, okay, those hair clip things, the spring things, all right, with all those little teeth, all right, I'm sure they would find a way to weaponize that. If not, just melt the plastic down and make a shiv out of it. It's that simple. But let's just get through this article and just get it done and over with. Let's try to get it done like a Band-Aid here, but just get it done and over with quick. Shiloh Quine, a 57-year-old transgender inmate born as Rodney James Quine, brought the suit while serving a life sentence for murder, kidnapping, and robbery. Quine was born a male and received a taxpayer-funded sex reassignment surgery in 2015, the Washington Free Beacon reported. California was the first state to charge taxpayers for transgender inmate sex reassignment surgery. Where do I start with this part? Well, of course, the murdering, kidnapping, robbing, sleazebag Rodney James Quine. I'm sorry, I'm not going to call it Shiloh, okay, because it hasn't earned respect to have that happen and to be called a her, okay. When you are a sleazy, scummy, waste of space piece of shit like this, okay, you should not be getting catered to, okay, when you're supposed to be getting punished for murdering, kidnapping, and robbery. But of course, an Obama-appointed judge is going to look at this guy and go, oh, entitlement, 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 as opposed to punishment, punishment, punishment. Our world is going to shit when you have judges like this thinking that this is normal and acceptable and actually based on case law. This is about feelings for this idiot. But as I said, we've gone through this article here. Let's just get it over with now. Because there's nothing left to say. This is just a complete shit show in California. The Californians want to secede from the United States, okay? They can. They can have that shit show. We don't want it in the rest of the country, okay? We would actually be better off without California, okay? If they think they can survive on their own when they're paying for stupid shit like this, all the power to them. Seriously, all the power to them. Okay, it's not bad enough that they've basically been, bankrupt for a long time, okay, and are doing really shady, sleazy things, like because of the tobacco master settlement, and they're trying to actually continue like that money coming in because people are switching to vaping and either continuing with vaping or quitting as a result. Okay, they're having to try to pay for these studies that say that vaping is worse and ignore credible ones from like the National Institute of Health and in the United Kingdom, in England, and they're doing stuff like that, and then they're wasting money, okay, allowing this guy, this murderer, to get a sex change operation. They could have saved a lot of money, because I'm sure, one of the family members of anyone he's murdered would have been more than willing to chop his dick off, okay, and save them from getting a plastic surgeon, okay? I'm sure someone would have been more than willing to chop this guy's dick off for him. Oh. But you know what, California? You've got them. You pay for it. At least it's not being paid for with federal funds. This is the Constitutional Libertarian. You all have a great one. I'm out of here.